Our first scary video comes from the TikTok user Paranormal Declassified. And trust me, it's enough to make you rethink ever having a balcony. The video begins innocuously enough. We see a woman entering the frame, folding towels that were hanging out to dry. Everything seems perfectly ordinary, until just moments after she puts the laundry rack away. Then, something utterly chilling appears on the balcony. It appears for a while. If you look closely, you can spot a disturbing figure crawling on all fours across her balcony. It moves with a slow, deliberate pace, its head inching forward as if trying to locate her. This eerie creature has dark, hollow eyes and a gaunt, unnerving body. But the oppressive darkness hides any other distinct features. What do you think is happening here? Could this be an otherworldly entity creeping around on the woman's balcony? Or is there something more sinister at work? Share your chilling theories in the comments below. Inside, in a plane, an employee records a video, showcasing his mundane workday as part of the cleaning crew. His routine is to tidy up planes that have just landed, a task he often undertakes during the dead of night, especially on those massive aircrafts that accumulate debris. But tonight, he decides to break from routine. Instead of moving on to the next plane, he stays behind. He's usually quick to leave as soon as the cleaning is done and no passengers are set to board soon. But tonight, he's driven by a peculiar sense of curiosity. With the cabin now spotless, he hides in the rear of the aircraft, his intention to explore the plane's eerie silence. However, what unfolds is far from the thrill he anticipated. As he remains hidden, the atmosphere thickens with unease, and what was meant to be a harmless adventure takes a chilling turn.
Let's go. We did this shit. I know I'm not dumb enough to lift those shades up because I got my flash on in here. They gonna catch my ass if they see. I ain't gonna lie to y'all though, it's mad cold in here. And it's dark. I mean, I know it doesn't look that dark on the camera, but it's dark. Let's go! Let's go! Right, sitting on the back of the plane. And y'all probably think I'm fucking insane. Probably think I'm doing this shit for fame. Think I'm doing this shit for fame. Think I'm doing this shit for fame.
He approaches to see if anyone's there, but to his horror, the space is utterly vacant. Then, out of nowhere, the seatbelt jerks towards the aisle as if yanked by an invisible hand. With no one in the seat, it seems to fling itself as if eager to eject a phantom passenger. Terrified, he scrambles back to his hiding spot at the rear of the plane. Hours later, when the crew finally finds him and he disembarks, he's so shaken that he can barely speak. He's haunted by the incident, often recounting it with growing dread, repeatedly insisting that he should have never boarded the plane. The experience has left him so unnerved that it feels like a shadow follows him wherever he goes. A woman who runs an Airbnb has been getting unsettling entries in her guest book from people who have recently stayed at her place. The latest entry revealed that when the guests arrived at night, the once charming old house took on an eerie and unsettling aura. They couldn't ignore the creepy details: an old porcelain doll hidden in the cupboard and an antique music box. The house, a colonial relic with a mysterious room in the attic, naturally exudes an old-fashioned, spooky vibe. But things took a chilling turn when the next group of guests stayed for 5 nights. They reported hearing disturbing noises coming from the locked attic door on 3 of those nights. Alarmed, the owner decided to install cameras in the attic and spend a week alone at the Airbnb to see if anything strange occurred. One night, she heard something truly horrifying and quickly grabbed her phone to record. This is what she captured.
And this whole time I'm getting ring notifications that there is motion in my attic. And mind you, we moved the camera to this small room off of the attic. So like the timing right now is a little crazy. Thomas!
Throughout this nightmare, my phone kept buzzing with alerts. Motion detected in the attic. Just to make it worse, we had already moved the camera to the small room beside the attic. So, the timing of this is just eerie, Thomas. While she was hearing those unsettling footsteps, the attic camera was relentlessly sending notifications of movement. But as you'll see in the footage, there's nothing there. Just a few minutes later, the camera picks up motion again, and this time, something truly chilling appears. Watch carefully. The door moves on its own, unnervingly, despite the owner's insistence that there was no wind. Even on the windiest day, it shouldn't sway like that. But what's truly chilling, and what almost everyone pointed out in the comments, is the eerie face that seems to appear at the bottom of the door when it opens. You can make out what looks like a face, and you can even see its mouth slowly closing before it vanishes into the shadows behind the door. This unsettling phenomenon has led many to believe that the historic house is haunted. Perhaps someone met a tragic end in that room. What do you think? A user by the name Our Haunted House has shared a series of chilling clips that have resurfaced as the upload. His username hints at a sinister truth. His house seems to be plagued by the paranormal. Strange occurrences are a regular part of life here. Doors that creak open on their own, lights that flicker ominously, and a dog that barks at unseen entities. Driven by a need to capture these eerie events on camera, he created the account Our Haunted House to share his unsettling footage. In this first clip, he's alone in his house late at night when his dog starts to act up, sensing something menacing outside. Desperate to prove the presence of the unknown, he decides to film what's happening, despite the growing sense of dread.
What the hell just happened?
My dog just started fucking barking for no fucking reason. Insane.
Holy shit, there's somebody out there.
As the man peered out of the window, a shadowy figure stood motionless in the darkness, its gaze locked onto him. When he dashed to the door to investigate, the figure had vanished, leaving nothing but an unsettling emptiness. Viewers warned him that by opening the door, he might have made a grave mistake, suggesting that he could have invited something sinister inside. A few nights later, as he moved through his home, he caught a fleeting glimpse of something in his peripheral vision. When he turned to look, nothing was there. He checked again, finding everything in order, so he turned off a light. Almost immediately, he sensed something watching him and felt a rush of terror. He flicked the light back on and scanned the room, but it appeared normal. Shaken, he decided to reposition one of his security cameras to monitor the room. He cycled the light on and off repeatedly, but nothing unusual occurred. It seemed like everything was fine, until the camera captured something truly horrifying.
I found the Shadow Man again.
When the lights cut out, a shadowy figure emerges, standing still and silent in the darkness. But as soon as the lights flicker back on, it vanishes. After posting the video online, a viewer claimed the figure was hiding behind the curtain. Our Haunted House insists otherwise. To prove it, we reposition the camera to show there's no one behind the curtain. With the camera rolling, we wait in silence, flipping the light off and on repeatedly. It doesn't take long before the figure reappears.
He's not behind the curtain.
As the lights flicker out, a shadowy figure emerges once more. But as soon as the lights blaze back on, it's vanished into thin air. This would be the last glimpse of the figure for a time. But one night, while the uploader is unwinding at home, he feels an unsettling presence in the room with him. Driven by the need for more evidence, he grabs his phone and starts recording.
It's right there. Holy shit.
A pair of eerie yellowish eyes peer out from the darkness, watching the man with a chilling intensity before vanishing into the shadows. The situation is growing more sinister by the minute. Desperate for relief, the man turns to God for help. He lights candles and burns sage throughout his house, praying that whatever is tormenting him will finally disappear. But as he moves through his home, sage in hand, the malevolent presence reveals itself once more. As he walks, holding the sage, a sudden jolt of fear hits him from behind. He looks up and sees a pair of glowing eyes peering down from the shadows high above, at least 7 or 8 feet off the ground. The camera captures his panicked reaction, a raw glimpse of terror. In the days that follow, unsettling sounds plague him. Strange, ghostly breaths whispering outside his bathroom door.
I heard him.
One night, as he's preparing for bed, he stumbles upon a chilling surprise, an eerie message scrawled on his bathroom mirror. But what could it possibly say? The writing on the mirror is unsettling, and he insists that the shadow man is the one behind these ominous notes. Meanwhile, as he was getting ready for bed and the message appeared, a camera set up in a different room captured something unsettling. In the window at the back, amidst the flickering flashes of light, something, or someone, slowly emerged, peering in with a chilling presence. But what could it be? After this eerie sight, nothing happens for days, and the uploader decides to share a video, unraveling his theories about the unsettling events.
Hey everyone, things have been pretty quiet for a few days now, so I wanted to address some of the comments that I've seen and people wondering about me having one arm. Yeah, I have one arm. It's actually because I'm a cancer survivor, and it was in my arm, so they had to amputate it. And between the radiation and chemo and surgeries, they kind of bring you to the brink of death without actually killing you. I feel like that's where I had my first paranormal experience. During my chemo, I went on a tour of the Queen Mary, and I was in a big group, and we went past this long vacant hallway that was like completely gutted in the interior of the ship, and suddenly I hear boom, 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 and then I turned to the people that were with me, and I was like, did you hear that? And they're like, no, nobody else in the group heard it, just me. And I'm wondering how much that has to do with what's going on now. I'm not sure.
So, what do you think is happening here? Is this man's home truly haunted, just as he fears? I'll let you make up your own mind. TikTok user Toe2 for You shared a video in which we can see something really terrifying. Take a look. In the video, we can see a childlike figure crouched by a wall, who looks possessed. Naturally, the person holding the camera bolts from the area in sheer terror after the encounter. Fatos Mysterious dared to explore the eerie woods in search of the truth behind an ancient Latin American legend. What they uncovered, however, proved one thing above all. The first thing they encountered was a clear, unsettling path cut through the dense undergrowth.
Tá quebrado aqui, ó. Vai lá. Alguma coisa entrou aqui dentro e bateu aqui, ó. Tá vendo aí? Tá enxergando? Tô aqui. Quebrado aqui, gente. Aqui, ó. Vestígio de alguma coisa que passou aqui. Algum animal selvagem, não sei. Vamos adiante, vamos adiante. Quero ver qual foi o caminho que eu entrei, entendeu? Cadê essa, hein, mano? Deixa eu ver se foi aqui, hein?
It felt like someone had been there just before them. You might think it's just animals moving through the underbrush, and you'd be right in a way. There are animals around. But the damage on that particular path suggests something or someone had recently moved between crawling and walking, a pattern unusual for animals. Then, out of nowhere, a spine-chilling noise began to echo through the trees.
Tchê, escuta. Que droga foi essa, cara?
Que droga foi essa aí, ó?
Escuta aí, cara, não tô vendo não. Foi sinistro isso agora, viu aí? Então, que negócio sinistro, caramba!
And then, they realized with growing dread that an eerie echo of clicking sounds seemed to be trailing them, as if mocking their terror. To make matters worse, they eventually stumbled upon...
Ô, também filma essa árvore aqui, ó.
Oi? Tá outra vez? Eu não me lembro não, cara. Mas parece que essa árvore foi arrancada da raiz, como se alguma coisa barruou nela. Com força ou foi a natureza que fez isso? Eu não sei.
Como? A natureza como?
Eu não sei não, velho.
Como? Porque se fosse a natureza, estavam todas.
Alguma coisa, sei lá que foi.
E gente também não foi.
Mano, tá escutando isso não, pô? Tipo assim, negócio assim, entendeu? Ei, pô, da última vez que nós escutou isso, ele apareceu, pô.
Então, tô querendo saber de onde é que tá vindo.
Tu está assim, tipo isso. Mano do céu, que droga foi isso, cara? Que droga fez isso? Que droga arrancou essa árvore, cara? Que coisa arrancou essa árvore, cara? Olha isso, cara. Que coisa barruou nessa árvore, gente. Mano, olha isso, cara. Alguma coisa barruou aqui, cara. Olha aí.
Not just one, but two free stumps, violently torn from their roots. What could be lurking out there with these ominous signs? They had ventured into the woods searching for the chupacabra, a monstrous beast said to prey on animals, draining them of every drop of blood. A telltale sign of its presence is the sight of lifeless animals strewn about, their blood completely drained. First reported in Puerto Rico in 1995, this creature was associated with numerous domestic animals found untouched but entirely drained of blood. The chupacabra's appearance varies widely in popular media. It could be alien-like, reptilian, kangaroo-shaped, or even dog-like. In the video, no bloodless carcasses are visible, but an unsettling chill permeates the air. They too sensed something was wrong. After a gut-wrenching scream pierced the night, they fled in terror, sprinting back to their van.
Agora não tô escutando mais nada, pô. Tá escutando alguma coisa? Não tô escutando mais nada não. Parou mesmo, completo silêncio. É mesmo, né? Vamos embora. Quer ir embora mesmo? Pode deixar, tá aqui no meu bolso. Vai pegar. Vai indo que eu já vou pra lá. Deu uns gritos aí, galera. Parou.
They didn't even come close to escaping cleanly. Just wait until you see what was lying in wait for them.
Droga. Vamos embora. X pra lá. Que barulho foi aquela ali, filho? Peraí. Tô vendo esse negócio passando ali, não. Deixa eu botar aqui o farol alto pra ver. Olha lá! Eita, tô vendo! Tira a cabeça. Olha lá, galera. Olha lá, aquela coisa lá, olha lá. O chupa-cabra lá, olha lá. Ele lá na árvore lá, olhando pra ela, olha lá. Olha lá.
Coisa é aquela, mano.
Deixa eu dar um zoom aqui pra galera ver lá. Ele tá tirando óleo, botando a cabeça e olhando. E coloca. Olha lá. Olha isso aí dele. Tamanho, que negócio feio.
Cadê a arma?
Tá aqui. Pega.
Eu vou tirar, viu?
Correu. Correu pra mata. Levanta lá, bora lá. Ele correu pra mata. Bora lá. Desceu, Gê!
They were certain it was the chupacabra. As they drew closer, the figure slipped back into the darkness of the woods, its two glowing eyes flickering and darting around. The creature stood out not just for its eerie height, far beyond any woodland animal, but also for its unsettling awareness of its surroundings, as if it was daring the two witnesses to follow. In a desperate chase, they tried to capture more footage, but the camera failed to catch anything more. So now, the question is left to you. Did they actually film the chupacabra? Does the footage match up with the chilling Chacapa legend? And if not, what in the hell did they actually capture? Share your thoughts below. A guy went for a solo paranormal investigator exploring a supposedly haunted location. Everything was normal, until something truly bizarre happened. Take a look.
뭐야? 잠깐만.
Not long after he stepped into the old abandoned house, he noticed the mirror swaying violently from side to side. This wasn't caused by the wind. It felt as though an unseen, ghostly hand was moving it. When he went to investigate, there was no one, and nothing there.
사람입니까? 가지마.
Drawn by the shadow he glimpsed through the door, He pressed on, oblivious to the danger that lurked ahead. Anything for his channel, right? Little did he know. This was just the start of a night that would plunge him into a whirlwind of terror and dread.
뭡니까? 왜? 저기 뭐야? 거기 누구인가?
After trailing the entity into a secluded room, the atmosphere grows sinister. Objects on the table begin to shift on their own, and the window starts to rattle with an eerie, foreboding sound. It's the calm before the storm. This should have been a clear sign for him to gather his things and leave immediately. He was not alone in the house. Something or someone was toying with him. It was only a matter of time before things turned violent.
저기 뭐야?
But our guy wasn't about to back down from an unsolved ghost mystery. Even though he was shaking like a leaf, he kept investigating behind the window. He found nothing until, suddenly, something happened.
뭐야? 뭐야? 너 뭐야? 거기 있어! 너 진짜 이씨야! 너 거기 있어!
For a truly chilling moment, the figure looms menacingly behind the door partition, seemingly daring him to come closer. But our brave soul opts for the classic escape, bolting for the exit before things get out of hand. Now, let's dissect his eerie night in the haunted house. It's clear he often avoids investigating moving objects, and when he does, he's dreadfully slow. If someone was serious about proving there's nothing to hide, they'd be more proactive in showing they're not being manipulated by some supernatural force. It's almost comical how the ghost seems more intent on giving him a tour than scaring him away. And let's not ignore the suspicious jump cuts whenever he pans the camera down. Still, maybe we should cut him some slack. We don't know why the house was so eerily empty with everything left in place. Perhaps it was a ghost with a flair for theatrics when it was alive. Kudos to him for daring to explore such haunted realms. Many would shudder at the thought of encountering poltergeist activity or just another paranormal stunt. What are your thoughts?